Hello and welcome to another episode of Historically Marked. I am in the Carondelet section of St. Louis, Missouri, and there is a hidden historical marker that was brought to my attention just yesterday at the time I'm doing this video, and I'll explain more about that. I am at the intersection of Esperscheid, sorry, and Vulcan Street, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this marker. So here we go. Alright, so I am in the industrial part of St. Louis. Now, Broadway is just a block that way, and Broadway, of course, stretches out throughout the eastern part of the city, north and through south, and ironically, north and south holds most of the industrial areas of St. Louis, and this place is no exception. So, Vulcan Street, now, of course, you're probably thinking the same way I am. Vulcan, you think of Star Trek, even though I'm not much of a Trekkie, but there was a historical marker I had never seen or heard of before, and I consider him one of my allies, Dozen Speed, who is popular here on YouTube. He's done a lot of great St. Louis history videos, and we've interacted many times outside of YouTube, but he told me about this spot at this intersection, and I've never seen it on any website, not even waymarking, because a lot of my inspiration comes through there. But this historical marker talks about an early settlement that is now obscure. Okay, so here's what it says. I know you can't read it, and I can't even get any closer to it because there's a factory or something right behind that fence, and obviously this has not been well kept. But here it is out loud. In 1700, 64 years before the founding of St. Louis, two French priests found a small settlement near this spot. In 1703, due to hostile natives, the French settlers and their Indian allies fled downstream. Although the settlement did not endure, the River de Pere, or River of Our Father, still bears its name. Now, the river they're speaking of is just, I mean, if that building didn't exist, we could probably see it. And that's usually the borderline between St. Louis City and County, and River City Casino is like right across that river. And the Mississippi River is just not too far away either, not even a mile away. So I was trying to look up what this unknown settlement is, or was, sorry. There is no name. But what I can tell you is, again, I'm in Carondelet, which is at one time a village. It was founded in 1767 by French settlers, and it didn't become a village incorporated until like 1852, but about 2 decades later it was annexed by the city of St. Louis. So unfortunately there's really not much history. I mean, not much more information, I should say. But I mean, it's great to know some obscure history. There's not even, it doesn't even say like who sponsored this marker, but I'm glad whoever does own that land, the company that is, they let this sign still stand. So I do not know many historical organizations that have acknowledged about this marker, but I am looking at the Carondelet official website. It's not for the Historical Society, but for the actual village, and it does say a little bit about the settlement that was made here in 1702, and obviously the date is kind of different from that one. But like I said, Carondelet was founded in 1767 by Clement Lord de Tréguier, and I'm not good at pronouncing French, so please forgive me on that one. But it was just a little ways north of a temporary settlement made by Catholic missionaries at the mouth of the River de Pere in 1702, which would be just that direction. And de Tréguier built his home at the base of what is now Elwood Street near the river. Now, I have done a video, I did it last year at the Bellary Park, and that's what I'm talking about. And the park, of course, sits where he built his home. So this is kind of the back of the place. Like, that was where I was, and so I just kind of walked up a ways, and yeah, they're building something, but this is as far as I can go. So the settlement, is safe to say, was pretty much just right in that area. And then that, I believe, is River City Casino. You can't really see it, but so this place looks to be very private, so I'm just going to go ahead and go back to where I was. So that's pretty much what I can dig up at this time. Now, if anybody does have any information related to this settlement, and obviously, again, I can't go on that property because, yeah, it's private and I don't work there. But again, this is definitely a great hidden gem. I mean, I get really excited when I see things that, you know, I can't find on the internet, especially on like geocaching sites. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So the only theory I could come up with is Cahokia, Illinois. Well, it's now Cahokia Heights, Illinois, but just right across the river is the village of Cahokia, which is now a city, as well. It's just around East Carondelet and East St. Louis and all the others. But maybe they wanted to start something on the other side of the Mississippi River, and that's pretty much the genesis of this area. So anywho, again, if anybody has any further information, just please feel free to leave in the comments or email me or whatever. So I am Jason in Carondelet neighborhood in St. Louis, Missouri, signing off.